welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast, episode 137. The postman always knocks twice. With me, George, and as always, I say always, for the first time joined this week by RGT, known in the Discord community and round and about. He's even had an article in Retro Gamer magazine. We were just debating off air what RG stands for. I don't know anymore. We'll let the myth create the myth. I've missed the pun. It's obviously season 4, getting off to a bit of a hokey-cokey start. So next day delivery is RGT to my 3 weeks delivery delayed somewhere in a customs depot in China. Never left the area it was created in. RGT, pleasure to have you here. How's it going?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me, George. It's a pleasure to come on the show. And
I don't know why you're being like this, because behind the scenes, El Buccio was kind of always you, pulling the strings.
Yeah.
You know, grooming the hosts. I'm the only one that sort of survived. I'm just out of rehab, so God knows what's been going on. Before we say any more, I must just say hello and willkommen to the Unofficial Controller Podcast because of our thousands of listeners that we seem to have picked up in Germany. You go on a break, things get a little bit reminiscent. They go crazy. They download every episode of the show. Well, you know, that's great news. And one would say, wunderbar. Fantastic.
That's amazing to be that popular in Germany, especially just recently. Is absolutely incredible. So thanks to the German listeners. That is absolutely amazing.
What more can I say? So, executive producer in the background, always pulling the strings, propping up the Discord like an absolute hero. If you're not on the Discord, if you've been like, oh, where's my favourite podcast gone? Well, don't worry. Even I'm allowed a break.
Yeah.
We come back, season 4, new album art.
Yeah, fantastic album art, I might add. Fantastic album art,
created by probably one of the finest Italian artists, Renaissance style, known to man.
Not one of the, I think.
Picked an Italian because, you know, they're into painting small children on ceilings. Yep. And I was thinking, you know, it's a me, about a bigster. I have a family with paint to the roof. And I thought, you know, riff on the Nirvana album art.
Yeah.
You know, unclothed child in swimming pool. I couldn't think of anyone better to paint a Cupid style thing. So, yeah, there you go. So season 4, new budget, increased budget. Thanks to the executive producer. He's done the merch. He's sold the rights. He's put my name on a box of cereal. He's all out there. But unfortunately, because of the cost of living crisis, I now owe him money. So the show's had to be scraped back to the barest minimum. It's about as good as it's going to get.
Hence I'm here.
Very hospital radio. Yeah. But no, that's not... Well, no. We've unsheathed. Anyway, as part of this ongoing season 4, Bobby will be coming back. Tom's in an Amazonian rainforest. He went there to discover himself, but ended up sort of using his mobile phone to trick the indigenous population into thinking he was some form of a god. He now gets carried around in a loincloth by several small children on one of those sort of carryable thrones. Where that's going to go, I'm not quite sure.
No, that's definitely Tom, though. I can imagine that.
So, season 4, episode 137, a.k.a. episode 1 of season 4, will always be known as the car crash of an intro that I stumbled across, not even knowing the roadmap to a show I've done 137 episodes of, seemingly. But, you know, let's not let that get in the way. Let's put all that to bed. As I ask you, RGT, how you doing, first of all? Before I ask you what your fingers have been perusing in the digital world, how you doing?
I'm doing well, I'm doing very well. Been able to do a bit more gaming just lately. Bit busy at work, you know, but I think we all are at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I'm doing well. Building the collection up a little bit, and yeah, it was good.
What are you going to do with your podcast royalty check? What's the first thing you're going to buy with that?
Games.
Excellent answer. I'm going to get a prawn ring from Iceland.
Oh, you know how to live.
You know.
Oh.
Next level celebrity stuff, that is.
Yeah. Prawn ring and frozen sandwiches, all the best from Iceland.
If you eat a frozen sandwich, could that technically be like a savoury ice lolly, like a, stick a stick in it, take it on the go.
Yeah. That's like a mobile picnic. A frozen picnic.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't want to be a stickler for the rules here, but I thought all picnics were mobile.
Yeah, I did think of that when I said it. I was hoping you might wash over that, but
no. One thing for me: I'm like a shark. If there's a little bit of blood in the water, as Tom knows, I'll have your blooming leg off.
Yeah, I'm starting to realise that now and regretting it.
Okay. Well, with all that said and done, I've been on a yoga retreat.
Wow.
Yeah. Been folded up, looked like a granny knot for 6 months. Only just managed to uncouple myself. Had just enough energy to crawl in here and get the show back on the road, get the band back together, as they say.
I did notice you're a bit of a funny shape. That would answer that question.
Didn't stop me taking advantage of me, though, did it?
No.
Delivered in a crate to your house, fresh from the Himalayan mountains, folded up by a yoga guru, and he used me as a coffee table for 3 months.
I can't think of a better art piece than that. A George coffee table.
I'm going to need a French polish on my back because you've left all those sort of coffee rings all the way up my spine. Before this show gets lost anymore in its own mist, I must ask you, what have you been playing?
Bits and pieces, really. I'll start with sort of modern things. FIFA 23 is out now, and I'm a bit of a stickler for FIFA 23. Football. Yeah, a bit of the old football. But yeah, I've been playing FIFA career mode. Starting at FIFA 23, very good. I always start with sort of a League 2 team and try and work my way out to top of the league and bring all the youth through, and so I've been enjoying that. Also played, I don't know if you've tried this, George, the demo of Valkyrie Elysium.
Now, I thought you'd said that you were playing that when I was looking on the Discord the other day. I was let's check in, see what everyone's up to, and I saw you were playing, and I thought, no, obviously medication's kicked in again. Let me pull my eyeballs out, give them a scrub, put them back in again. And then I reread it, and it said you're playing Valkyrie Elysium. What's all that about?
I'm not normally into JRPGs. They're my little sticking point with a game, and I just don't get them. I always struggle with them, but I really want to play them. I missed out on a lot of games of Final Fantasies and bits and pieces. And I saw, I don't know if you ever watch Happy Console Gamer, YouTuber. I was watching him, and he done a review of it, and I thought it looked quite good. So give it a go, and very, very good. Very impressed. The combat's very good in it. Very sort of early God of War sort of.
So it's not turn-based?
No, not turn-based. It's live action, but very good. Very, very tight controls. It is a budget game. A Square Enix. It is one of their budget games they're bringing out at the moment.
Wow.
So it's, graphically, there's sort of PS4, I'd say. Yes, that sort of, it's not cell shaded, but characters sort of have that black line around the outside, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's a bit, I played, what did I play at a demo? 3 hours, I suppose. So a bit,
will you be continuing your playthrough of that?
Well, I've finished the demo, and I think I'm going to buy the game, yeah. I think I'm going to buy the game.
Okay.
So, yeah, very good. But, yes, I've been playing that, bit of FIFA, and then on the more retro side, if you class it as retro, I've done a bit of a list of console games that I'd missed back in the day. Original Xbox. I've got lists of loads of stuff, even Wii U. So I've been on Xbox. I played through Halo, first one. Combat Evolved, I think. Played through that, really enjoyed it. About halfway through Halo 2.
So let's ask the question that's hot on the lips of every pre-2000s gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Halo 2 any good?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you like video games, podcasts, and reminiscing? I'm actor, video game writer, and total sweetie pie Connor Savage McCabe, and on each episode of Call Me By Your Game, I sit down with a guest for an intimate look at a special game from their past. Did you and your dad beat Spyro the Dragon over the holidays? Or was Halo 4 the one thing that united your roommates during your senior year of college? Stories like these are what Call Me By Your Game is about. From video game content creator Janet Garcia to Hades voice actor Courtney Vinay's, I interview wonderful comedians and game industry friends about these memories. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and maybe someday you'll call me by your game.
It's good so far. I would probably say I'm not enjoying it as much as I did the first Halo. Whether that's because I've gone straight into it, from one to the other, or I don't know. It's still good, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad game, but I definitely enjoyed Halo more.
Do you think that the switch from sort of large open areas to more sort of tightly packed areas has changed that a little bit, or is it the gameplay flow, or is it you're just not feeling it?
I don't know. I don't seem quite invested in the story so much. I don't think that's it's a bit rinse repeat from the first one. It's very much follow on, But yeah, I think I preferred in the first one. You were more open, and you could. Seems a bit more linear. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. But I don't know whether I've had a bit of a break from it at the moment, because I think I just went from one straight into the other, and that's probably why I'm not feeling it quite so much. But I will finish it. I want to try and get through the Halo series if I can.
I think it's a worthwhile investment of your time.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
FIFA, football, playing the career mode, enjoying it.
Yeah, very much so.
Is their last one, presumably? EA have lost license.
Apparently, yeah.
Are they going to go out on a high based on this, or is it going to be a midway point for the series?
No, I think I've only probably put 7-8 hours into career mode, but I'd probably say it's probably the best career mode I think so far. Just little touches, there's little added cutscenes in. If you sign a player, he comes into the club and shakes your hand, and you sign him, and then you get rated for how good a deal you've got with signing that player. Little touches like that are good. Gameplay's changed.
Question, and only because my brain works in this way. Let's say you sign a character that the computer's probably just randomly generated. Let's say you sign a player that the computer's practically random generated, someone from a youth team, someone that they've not scanned.
Mm-hmm.
How do they look compared to, say, a team of Premiership stars? Do they look a little bit like Fisher-Price, My First Create, or do they look a little bit like they should be there?
Yeah, I mean, I did sign, because I like to try and sign unknown players, like young unknown players that probably don't exist. They're just, AI players, but I try and sign them and make them into superstars, and some of them are dubiously looking old. You sign a 16-year-old and he turns up with grey hair, double, and you think, I'm not sure, it's a bit, yeah.
His agent said no one would ever know. They'll never know.
Yeah, you look young, don't worry, and then they turn up with grey hair and a beard, and you're thinking, I'm not sure you're 16. I really
Sounds
don't.
like how I would rock up after maybe people see online date, like, who's this old guy? Who is this?
Yeah, so something like that. I mean, the likeness with real stars is good. That's very good. And you've got all your regular stuff in your head from before. So goal celebrations, you can do your own goal celebrations, bits and pieces. And they've rolled over from last year. Stadium, you customise your stadium, your seat colours, colour your nets, shape your nets, everything like that. So you can really make your team your own. So it's good. Yeah, it's good fun.
Okay. So that's that. Tick. Halo tick. Anything else?
Forza Motorsport.
The original?
The original, yeah. Yeah, I've been playing that. And that was my little break from Halo 2.
Wow. And how's that working out for you?
I'm enjoying it, yeah. I'm enjoying it. It's good. It's, not being disrespectful, it is the Gran Turismo clone. That's good. That's not as in-depth as Gran Turismo, and, you obviously ain't got them licensed tracks in there. But it's still really good fun. I'm really enjoying playing. I've been loving playing it,
Yeah, I think the car handling was nailed. Graphics always look good on that game.
Yeah.
Me, personally, on the Xbox, I think I would always gravitate towards PGR more. Have you got PGR 3 and 4?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I haven't played them yet. I've only played So that was originally on Dreamcast, wasn't it? That was
Metropolis Street Racer, then original Xbox, PGR 1 and 2, and then 360 was 3 and 4.
Yeah, I've played on the Dreamcast, but I haven't got to playing them on Xbox yet. But we'll do. I will get to those because they're quite, highly rated. A lot of people said you got to play those.
Yeah, I just think that it's a bit more relaxed. It's a little bit more Forza Horizon than Forza, but at the same token, it still felt like a real nuts and bolts car game on tarmac. I know the cities were there and detailed and mapped and all that sort of stuff, and that's how the series got fame with Metropolis Street Racer. But yeah, for me, I've just got more nostalgia and personal investment in that series than maybe Forza. The original Forza 1 and 2 was, I think the second one was amazing on 360. I think it was online, and that was like a great experience. It was one of those early ones, and oval tracks, make your own rules sort of thing. Give it the whole Days of Thunder with the mighty Finchy, the show's artist. They were good times. So what else has been on the horizon, friend?
As far as my retro stuff, that's probably about it. That's probably where I'm up to at the moment. I've sort of been jiggling between sort of me PS5 and me retro things, really. But yeah, I think my next thing is getting Forza Motorsport finished. I think I'm quite close to getting it done now. So, right, it's enough about me. What have you been playing, George?
Well, in the show's hiatus, when I've not been wound up like a discarded piece of rope out the back of the scout hut, I've been playing an awful lot of MLB 22, the show, possibly the greatest game of all time until 23 comes out. But that's sports games for you. But yeah, part of me thinks, what a great game. Then sometimes I think not really using the PS5 as well as it should do. I've monkeyed around with Stray. It's good, but it's not great. So I've got that to finish off. Played through Last of Us Part 1, which I know I hear a lot of,
how do you find it?
I really enjoyed it.
I mean, obviously I played the originals, but I've never played the Part 1 version of it. I mean...
Yeah, I've played, obviously, the original and the remaster and all that else. And on the way into it, I was like, but you know what? It makes it so concurrent with Part 2 that it almost felt like it needed doing. With the TV show coming out, someone could come in to Last of Us completely fresh with the PS5, say, do you know what? I've never tried that. I've enjoyed the show. Play through 1, immediately go into 2. The only downside with 1 is it's hard to say because 1, is a PS3 game at times.
Yeah.
The way it's laid out. They've done a real nice job of making it look like Part 2. But some of the things that happen in it feel very PS3-y. Whereas, obviously, then you get into Last of Us 2, and obviously that's PS4 game using all that sort of architecture and AI and all that sort of stuff, and it's great. But there's times where it feels quite old compared to 1 remake now. So there's a strange balance, but I think for the most part, we're probably owed a proper PS5 upgrade path for Part 2. I think that would be great if we could get that. So
in Part 1, have they changed like the NPCs? Have they react, right?
They react more aggressively for sure. And that obviously changes the way the game played out, but putting that aggressive AI in a PS3 level designed for PS3 AI can leave you feeling quite pressured at times, but there's also times, as always with The Last of Us, where you can just charge in and knife and slash and do all that. So, it's an interesting mix. I think playing the back-to-back 2 definitely feels more concurrent, but they've done a good job of making them look like they're now in the same franchise, in the same universe, and seamlessly go from one to the next, which I think was probably always their ambition. Let's not forget, I think this was meant to be a third-party PlayStation Studio remake that they were just going to throw together, a bit like Blue Point Games. Throw together is like not the correct term, but pull together and chuck out there. And Naughty Dog weren't happy with the progress, so decided to pause all current projects so they could focus on that. I think I
remember them pulling it back and trying to do it themselves. Yeah,
and I think they quite enjoyed doing it because at the end of the day, in their own words, it was a great way to see what the PS5 was capable of while sort of messing around in like an after-school club, I think is primarily how the remake got started again once they got their hands on it. It was like, see what you can do with that, with these limitations using that. It was like a nice little pet project that's actually grown legs and become something else. So I've been playing Last of Us 1, finished that, really nice, done the DLC for that, nice little package. Is it worth 70 quid? Maybe not, but...
Yeah, that's what put me off. I mean, I'm a big Last of Us fan, but 70, I thought, not sure. I'll wait to see what reception it get. But
if you got it in 6 months' time for a pre-owned price, well done. Okay.
I think that's where I'll go with it.
I thought I'd have a little dalliance with it. Not been a great deal of stuff to play. The story is very familiar to me because of how many times I've actually played it, which is an awful lot. But I still enjoyed it, and so it was fun. Last of Us Part 2. Played a little bit of Sleeping Dogs on PS3 recently. Game still looks great.
I keep thinking about that.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Played some multiplayer Sackboy Adventure, PS5 launch title. I think it was a PS4 Shadow title as well, legacy title. Played a bit of a Way Out, that multiplayer.
I played that.
Couch co-op.
Good game.
That was also really good fun. And I think that might be all she wrote as far as what I've been playing. But it's been a nice summer of fun to kick back, and the game's been a bit thin on the ground, for want of a better word. So there's been a lot of diving into the retro games and visiting that backlog. Probably got nowhere near enough time. I still need to find the time to finish playing through Last of Us 2 and then finish playing through God of War reboot again, ready for the second God of War coming out in November. There's a bit of God of War news in the news, and I think no one came here to hear what I've been playing. Maybe they did. Maybe that's how this show exists. I don't even know. But it's time for the news. We scoured the very darkest regions of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, I shall go first, just so you can fix it in your teeth and get them slapped in properly. It's,
lovely.
Grab your bow, boy. Great news. PlayStation fans, God of War Ragnarok has gone gold, meaning in the industry that the game is finished, development is ready to be shipped. We had been anticipating this announcement for a while, and it's arrived at a good time, with the game set to release just over a month on the 9th of November. Coming from the Santa Monica Studios' own Twitter, they say, "We are thrilled to announce God of War Ragnarok has gone gold on behalf of SMS and all our partners. Thanks to you, the fans, for supporting us over the course of development. We're almost ready to launch and can't wait for you to play on November the 9th. It's weirdly hard to believe now, but after just a few short months ago, we were all questioning whether Ragnarok was actually going to launch in 2022. You may remember that we'd seen next to nothing of the PS5 and PS4 title, and developer Santa Monica Studio was keeping super quiet. But here we are, with the highly anticipated adventure just 30 some odd days away. How hyped are you for God of War Ragnarok? Give us your best menacing Kratos grin on the show's Discord and let us know. Are you excited, RGT, for the re-emergence of the God of War franchise?
I am. I mean, I've never been much of a God of War player, if I'm honest. I've sort of dabbled in it, and I need to go back and finish. Was it 2016 the other one came out? Or was it a bit later than that?
Was it not 2018?
Might have been 2018.
2016. No, let's go with that. Why not?
I can't remember. But anyway, I am going to play through that again, because what I played that I really enjoyed. But yeah, I think so. I mean, there's obviously been a lot of talk around the game and the odd delay and people not seeing footage of it and bits and pieces. But I think Sony need this to be a big game. As you say, it's been thin on the ground. So we need this to be just before, Christmas.
Yeah.
Need it to be a big banger really for them.
Yeah, they need that. It needs to review well. It needs to play well, most importantly, and it needs to sell well. Not only on PS5 but PS4 as well. One would imagine PS4 is where the bulk of the sales are going to come from, unless people are picking up a PS5 and God of War on the way into Christmas. With stock still thin on the ground, you can see why it's a PS4 title, but at the same token, with the groundswell of PS5 buyers now, although the story on the ground is, really hard to get hold of, don't know where to get one, it's actually outsold PS4 to this point. So obviously not that hard to get hold of.
No.
And it was PS4 was preceded by a console that literally died the minute the PS4 came out, because at the end of the day, it didn't because the PS3 was so complicated, PS4 couldn't offer legacy support. So people were going into an empty software library. I suppose at least as PS5 owners, those, if you haven't played them, where have you been? But there was some exclusives there for people to have a play with. So we'll see where this goes. God of War Ragnarok, it's got all the hallmarks of a quality game. I see that Blue Point have actually ported people over to that because they've had free capacity. So it's all been all hands on deck, right? Don't know what PJ will think of that, since Duncan's getting all hands on him. But yeah, all hands on him to get the game out and shipped. So
I wonder if they'll do a pack-in with that. PS5 pack-in.
They did with Horizon Forbidden West, didn't they? So,
because I mean, that's selling great numbers, but I think it's just because it's packed in with PS5s in it at the moment. So,
yeah, but one can't imagine they're shifting that many PS5s, or it's going to bump it up the charts. But you never know.
No.
It was nice to see a pack-in. It's the first one, so yeah, nice. All the box variant collectors will be buying another PS5 to get the card slip. So fair play to them. What's this next bit of news, Stud?
Tom will not be pleased. In case you missed it, Overwatch has swapped a free-to-play model with the release of the second title earlier this week, and that means that there are some new microtransactions. Oh dear, I don't like that word. Like the premium battle pass. In other words, if you want to unlock certain cosmetics or get more out of the game, you might need to fork out real money. It seems the grind is also pushed to the limits because of the new model. A Reddit user by the name of Chibi Tracer, that's good, on the Overwatch subreddit has done some calculations, and apparently it would take you around 5 years or around 15,600 coins to unlock all the non-seasonal items, for the new hero Kuriko. I don't even play Overwatch, I'm sorry.
Say how you feel.
Yeah, as explained in detail by Game Revolution, if you were to play Overwatch 2 entirely for free, it would take you around 260 weeks to earn all of Kuriko's non-seasonal unlocks, grinding the weekly challenges for the 60 coins reward. As far as for real money, you could potentially be paying around 150 US dollars or more for the Kuriko's non-seasonal gear, and that is just one hero. Ouch. Here are the costs of the in-game prices. US dollars, 500 coins is $4.99, 1,000 coins is $9.99, 2,200 coins is $19.99, 5,700 coins is $49.99, and 11,600 coins is $99.99. Ouch, that is a lot. Although the microtransactions and premium battle pass might not be the best, the team-based gameplay that carries across to the second game appears to be quite solid.
That's for me. And we probably need to get an Overwatch fan on the show, or maybe he's heavily involved in the community. Could maybe bring him on for a guest spot and interrogate them more about this. Overwatch 2 was announced when Overwatch and Blizzard were in a little bit of a dark place, some internet controversy. We covered it back in the day on the show.
Yeah.
Was it announced too early? Yes.
They seemed to announce it when Overwatch was actually quite on its peak, which seemed quite strange, rather than discontinuing with sort of seasonal passes. I don't know. Yeah.
I just feel like, I think we said it at the time, and I stand by it now. Overwatch 2 was just pulled out of the air as some smoke and distraction. Then they were like, oh, we've actually got to make it. They should have just stuck to the seasonal upgrades. If they'd made Overwatch free to play at that point, like Rocket League or Destiny or whatever, I don't think anyone would have said boo to a goose. But this situation, I'm not sure, really. But it was never for me anyway. Fisher Price, my first shooting game. Come at me. I don't care. You know where I live. Farmerton. Easy to find. It's on every map. All right. Those that have listened to the show for long enough, they know. Okay. Next bit of news. Deathloop receives a full dishonoring desagulation. The official
I'm glad you're reading that one. I am glad
the
you're
official
reading
Xbox podcast has treated us to a bit of exclusive information this week, and as a chat with a couple of developers behind Deathloop has revealed the game officially takes place in the same world as Dishonored. Many fans had expected as such, and Arcane's Dinger Bakaba finally confirmed it on the show. We envisage Deathloop to be happening in the future after Dishonored Death of the Outsider, which is a little bit of DLC if memory serves. There are lots of clues actually in the game. There are some that are obvious. There are lots of small things and some that were under people's noses all the time. If you haven't tried it, it's now on Games Pass, so it's a good time to jump into Deathloop. I haven't tried Deathloop, to be honest.
No, I haven't, to be honest.
I keep meaning to. It's sat there on the shelf. It's saying, "Hey, come on and wrap me, play with me."
And there was adverts for everywhere when it was coming to PS5, wasn't it?
Exactly. I don't think I saw a bus which wasn't covered in Deathloop and all that sort of jargon. So, yeah, good bit of news. Before we head into the bonus news, last bit of news, seeing as you're now the world's biggest Forza fan, I thought this should land in your ballpark, friend.
Okay. Celebrations on the horizon. On the eve of the series' 10th birthday, Forza Horizon 5 is getting a massive free anniversary update to celebrate a decade of open-world racing for the Forza franchise. There's a lot packed in here, from brand new cars and Forza Horizon throwbacks to a new Horizon story and some classic FH radio tunes. Oh, that's cool. Here's a look at the highlights from the update, which arrives on October the 11th. Forza Horizon Origins. Horizon Origins is a brand new 5-part story coming to Forza Horizon 5 as part of the update, hosted by Bass Arena DJ Scott Tyler. The story focuses on some of the series' most iconic moments from Forza Horizon 5, all the way back to the first game on Xbox 360. Speaking of which, you'll get the Forza Horizon 1 cover art for completing all 5 chapters. Oh, that sounds good.
Very generous and very nice way of celebrating what's become a great franchise. Who would have thought 10 years has passed so quickly, but fair play.
Bit
of a dad joke here, but DJ Scott Tyler, obviously a little bit of a fisherman because he works at the Bass Arena. Couldn't help myself. I'm getting older. I find this sort of humour appeals to me.
Very good. But
while we've been off air, PlayStation announced this rewards program. Before I get deep into explaining to you what's that all about and what it means, what do you make of all that?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I know it's the stars program, isn't it? They're doing, and this you're obviously getting these little. They've made it quite clear that this isn't going to be. You can't resell these trophies. You can't. They've made it quite clear that there isn't no transactions, anything involved in them. But it seems quite interesting, a nice little thing to do, but. I don't know if that will clash with trophies. People like the trophies in games and collect trophies.
I kind of wondered if maybe they could have reworked trophies to be like when you get the platinum, it might actually then be this non-NFT figure you can look at on your phone.
So if you say you got a God of War platinum, you got Kratos, which you can look at to show you've got. Yeah, that's a good idea. But I'm not sure. I'm quite interested. Give it a go and see. I know you can get. Can you get different stars from entering different games, I think, or
correct.
You can collect them up? Yeah. So, it seems interesting. It's a different way to go again.
Well, let's leave conjecture at the door as I put on my finest Deerstalker, stick in a bubble pipe because it's for kids' show, mostly.
Mostly.
And I shall do my detective work. Stars in their eyes. Couldn't really call it anything else. PlayStation Stars, a reward program Sony tragically failed to market by license. The theme song of a certain animated film about an ogre's swamp rolls out today in the United States. First announced in July, PlayStation Stars primarily grants players digital collectibles, which caused some observers to raise eyebrows at a slew of prizes that sounded a whole lot like NFTs. Sony swears they're not NFTs. But long-tail participation in the program can also grant you points for redemption in the PlayStation Store. Here's everything you need to know. PlayStation Stars, like the fighting game? No, you're thinking of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, a 2012 platform fighter that attempted to fold in Sony's roster of first-party heroes for a PlayStation-exclusive Smash Bros. Clone. By most accounts, the game failed terribly. Despite centering around an open fueled progression system, PlayStation Stars isn't a game at all. It's a free addition to an existing PlayStation account. You're allotted a set number of tasks, formerly called campaigns, which cycle on a rotational basis. Completing campaigns gives you free stuff like, yes, digital collectibles. The more campaigns you complete, the more campaigns you can unlock, increasing your overall PlayStation Stars level. The program first rolled out across Asia on September the 28th, hit North and South America on October the 5th, and will expand to the poorer counties, Europe, Australia, New Zealand on the 13th. How do you sign up for PlayStation Stars? Well, first you need to have a PlayStation account. Sony's online service. A free account is fine, though members of PlayStation's Plus subscription will get added benefits. In the PlayStation app, you'll see a blue button with a star on it at the top of the navigation bar. Click on that and then follow the steps. Well, I hear you say, but what are the rewards? PlayStation Stars rewards primarily fall into one of two categories: digital collectibles, trophies you can store in a digital trophy case on the PlayStation app. It all seems very pointless, but let's get behind it anyway, or points which can be used on more collectibles or on games from the PlayStation Store. Now that bit seems appealing to me. At level 2, buy a game from the PlayStation Store to unlock it. You get a bonus collectible. Once you hit level 3, buy 2 games. You get a birthday collectible. At level 4, buy 4 games. You unlock chat priority routing. Basically, early access to customer support queries through an FAQ. Sony said wait times are subject to availability. That seems a little disingenuous, but we shall move on. So the rewards, for the most part, are digitized statues that you can only see inside a mobile app for the time being. You can view any you've unlocked in the display case featured on the PlayStation app's front page. So let's just clear this up one last time. So it's NFTs. It's definitely not NFTs. Definitely not. Sony Vice President of Network Advertising, Loyalty and Licensed Merchandise, Grace Chen, told the Washington Post. You can't trade them or sell them. It's not leveraging any blockchain technology, so definitely not NFTs. Okay, you've said enough. If anyone offers to sell me a chibi Kratos, I won't be happy.
No.
Campaigns are pretty rudimentary. For instance, the October check-in campaign that's currently active on the accounts is they have to complete a rudimentary objective, play any PS4, PS5 game. Once you've finished that, you unlock the PlayStation tech demo T-Rex, a dinosaur standing in front of a tree, a reference to a tech demo for the original PlayStation. So, shades of nostalgia, hints of something that you might like to have. If only we could do more with them. If only there were themes. If only they were player avatar pictures. If only they were all the other things that have asked us to get involved in and care about, then subsequently forgot. Some campaigns fall into the category of spend money to make a tiny pittance of money. For example, PlayStation Store Picks campaign. You need to buy one of 6 specific games: NBA 2K23, Saints Row, TMNT Collection, The Last of Us Part 1, Madden FL 23, or Inscription. At full price on the PlayStation Store. In return, you'll earn 50 points. Sony said it won't require you to play any streamed PS3 games, a perk that's only available to those who sign up for the priciest tier of the PS Plus. For any campaigns, how much are PlayStation points worth? Okay, let's do the math here. So I'm taking off my socks and I'm getting out my SPMG maths book from primary school. Forking over 200 points gets you a collectible from a rotational slate. You also can spend points on games. The exact exchange rate isn't an exact science. Right now, you can exchange points for a handful of games via the PlayStation app. Call to the Lamb's going to set you back 6,250 points. It Takes Two, a mere sniff at 10,000 points. Hades, a mere bagatelle at 6,250. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And these points mean nothing to me, but that's 15,000 points. The Quarry will set you back 17,500 points. You can also redeem points for PlayStation Store funds. 1,250 points is worth $5, or 5,000 points are going to get you $20. You cannot trade or transfer points to another account. I hear you all exclaim, is it worth it? Put your flam down, flip it, and reverse it. If it costs any money at all, no way. Pony it up, Costs ponying up for a full price game in exchange for less than $1 of PlayStation Store funds isn't exactly what we'd call enticing, no matter how you do the math. Even if I grew a third leg and counted the toes on that, it's not adding up. And whatever your thoughts on not NFTs, keeping them locked in a mobile app where they can't be viewed or traded, seems silly. But hey, PlayStation Stars is technically free. Now you've had all that jargon, the unofficial controller behind the scenes podcast buzz.
Am I right in thinking then you can only view your stars, rewards, trophies, whatever you call them, on the app on your phone?
Correct. Apparently it's coming to the console at some point in time.
Oh, so
right
it's not
now,
to the app.
if you want to fawn over your unlocked digital T-Rex, that can only take place on the app on your phone.
That's a strange one as well, though, isn't it? If you're earning it on the console, but you can only view it on your app.
There's only so many times you can show your mummy a picture of your T-Rex on your phone and her say, "Oh, isn't that nice, little RGT? Haven't you done well?"
And what is about the customer service thing?
Well, seemingly, if you get to a certain level on PlayStation Stars, you get to join a shortened queue if your PlayStation breaks down. If, when, and how, work that one out.
I'm not sure about that.
I didn't like that. That's what I said at the time. Feels a little disingenuous.
Yeah, customer service.
Everybody else,
service.
Yeah, someone who's got to level 4 in PlayStation Stars, straight to the front of the queue. Yes, it's a bit fast. They had to come up with something.
Yeah.
Could they come up with something slightly less teary? Yeah, I think maybe they could have done and should have done.
Yeah, I think that's a strange reward to have for being taking part in PlayStation Stars. You get a shorter customer care queue, which is, I find, strange.
Maureen, the PlayStation 5's given up the ghost this morning, but not to worry, because I'm level 4 on PlayStation Stars, so I'm literally 2 rings away from speaking to Brian. Brian, the PlayStation 5's got belly up again, old boy. What are you going to do about it?
That's what it seems like. He's
Send me a goddamn NFT picture of a T-Rex, you swine, you swindler.
I mean, that'd be interesting to see, because is it only out in America at the moment? Japan, America, is it?
Out in America and Asia. Those smaller boys are getting it. When did I say? You know what? You can write this stuff, George, but you can't damn near remember it. October the 13th for the plebeians in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. So that's us, our German friends, our Italian colleagues, the deported convicts from Australia and New Zealand. Be
interesting. We'll see when it comes out, see how we get on with it. I mean, I'll sign up, give it a go, and see what happens. But
signing up is free. Maybe just sign up, put it in the background, do your thing on PlayStation, check your points every now and then. You're bored, waiting for Mrs. RGT to get her hair done. You sat in the shop. You're fed up looking at the 1980 pictures of the models with the mullets and all that, right? So you look down at your phone, you think, I'm going to look at my T-Rex. I'm going to spin it around. It's in 3D. Let me look at the back of it. Let me look at the front of it. Let me look at my wife. Still only getting her hair washed at this point. Let me look at it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we the target audience? One would imagine yes, possibly yes, for the swapping of points for prizes. Gets me a digital game. How do I feel about that? That
might be one of those where you sign up, forget you've even got it, and then after a while you've built up all these points, then suddenly remember and have a look and think, oh, that's good. I forgot about those points.
Bit like your co-op divvy card. I see this rewarding pro rata at the same level as a co-op
Sony
divvy card.
co-op divvy card.
Yeah, that's basically what this is. Explain it to me another way and tell me it's not.
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head. That is.
Okay. Well, guess what? During this hiatus, no one went in the community correction section. So everything historically stands up and is true. Let me ask you this question. Listener, did we miss anything? Do you have an opinion or take on the news we missed? If so, RGT, how would the collected thousands at this point, millions, get in contact with us and let us know that A, we're stupid, B, we made a massive mistake, C, we don't know anything about games, D, RGT is now the sexiest man in podcasting. He's moved from the shadows of executive producing to the forefront now. He's on the T-shirts, he's on the merch. That's him as a baby swimming in the new podcast album art, just so you know. Okay? No babies are harmed.
No babies are harmed in the making of this podcast.
One was partially drowned, but it survived.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we ain't got the budget, you know.
No.
We ain't got the budget for this.
No, exactly.
Literally had to dangle a baby in a pool.
Fishing rod
With a controller on the end of it. Yeah, tut!
There we go. Done. Snap. Picture.
So if we had done all that, what would they do if they wanted to put us right? If they wanted a question on air, whatever it is.
Well, they can either come across and email us at questions@unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com, or you can DM us on Instagram or Twitter. Or if you want to come and have a chat and join the Discord, everyone's welcome. You know, we talk about everything on there. We've got, you know, food, even pictures of people's pets. We talk about games. We've got games we've been picking up. People are swapping games. Fantastic.
Didn't think it was wholly fair that you uploaded a picture of me bent 6 ways akimbo with a cup of boiling hot coffee on my spinal column in the pet section.
I thought it was justified. I like to show I own you. Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, to be fair, you know, it was that grounding I needed. I think I'd got a little bit hedonistic. I got a little bit ahead of myself.
You needed pulling down a little bit.
Yeah.
So, bang, there's the picture.
Yeah.
Come back down to earth, George.
Some wonder if I'll ever walk again, but
You'll be all right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, with that all said and done, we'd love to welcome you to the Discord. If you've been one of the German listeners, don't worry, because we've got native German speakers in the Discord. Don't you worry about that. There's a translation app running in the background. You know, your wunderbar is my wonderful. You know, your fantastic is my fantastic. Your hello and willkommen is my hello and welcome. You know, don't Volvonstu. You know, these are the questions you're going to be getting asked in the Discord. Ich wohne in RGT's, you know, I don't even know. I didn't want to call it dungeon, okay, but I don't know what the German for dungeon is. It's probably dungeon. You know.
Yeah, it's probably dungeon. I'm fine with dungeon.
Okay, right. What's next? Let's. I don't know why I there. I'm still a little out of practice because you know better than I do, listener. He's been waiting at the bottom of the drive for months now. But and I don't know how his boot works, to be honest. Let's not even go down that rabbit hole. It's time for a peek in what we affectionately call Stingray's boot, what's nestled between some counterfeit nappies and a dodgy copy of Battlefriend all this week. These are the new release highlights of the week, October 9th to October 16th, 2022. Listeners, these are out on digital or physical, will be. Oh, well, they might be. By the time this podcast's in your feed, but could be. The caveat of all caveats, region dependent. Spring settled, dust water, whoa. Some things you can take out the show, some things you can't. Did a survey. No. If Watland Wall's not in, we're going to lose 98.4% of all listeners.
Yeah, that is correct.
That already, that's a very small demographic. That's probably about half a person. How half a person can leave the show, I don't know. Tom made it possible. Right? If he's listening somewhere, I don't know how he gets relayed this show, probably on Jungle Drums from somewhere where they've got an internet connection halfway across the Amazon. He picks it up. He's like, did he just say what I think he said? He might, you know, he's technically a king, maybe a god now. So maybe he'll declare war on the show.
If I know Tom, he will definitely be a god.
Yeah, he's not going to settle for anything less than a deity, is he?
King's a bit.
We're going to make you a demigod. That's not going to cut it for me. Full
not
god
acceptable.
or nothing. Not acceptable.
No.
Okay, so I see him as a denim-clad creature. I don't even remember what people saw him as now. I mean, I think Mike Rouse saw him as his granddad. I think Harvey Retro, of all people, saw him. I don't know what he's made of. I think all denim. I don't even know anymore. What do you see him as?
To me, it's like, if you think of Pat Sharp's mullet,
right,
glowing, just slightly hovering with a halo above it.
No legs, nothing, just that
it's hair. Just this glowing mullet with a halo. It is gorgeous.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad I don't see that because it's a little bit scary, but if that's what you see, that's fine. My mind rationalizes things, probably put a couple of legs on him, clad him in denim, smoking a Lambert, whatever. As if you're new to the show, if you've got this far, well done. You're paying tolerance is through the roof. Okay, you could be wearing nipple clamps and get branded and not even realise. So, God knows really how that happens. But you're one tough SOB as far as I'm concerned. And thank you for staying with us to this point. Those that know the show a little bit more intimately will know that through this list that was presented to us in the boot of this strange man, we pick out a mummy. That's the game that you would drag down a mummy's apron. You'd be like, mummy, I need this game this week, else I'm not going to be a good boy at school. It doesn't work that way. You need to be a good boy at school and you get something. But, either which way, you're going to try and hold your mum hostage for one title. And because Stingray was the guy that used to deliver us our DVDs as small humans, a.k.a. children, not what you were thinking, okay? Not that or that. Everyone needs love, okay? That, okay? We pick out a DVD. Normally something a little bit nostalgia-y. I forget what I've picked. I've probably picked Waterworld 6 times. Will I pick it again? Maybe. All right, that's my call.
Waterworld, why wouldn't you?
If I want to rent Waterworld out this man's dodgy-looking Nissan Bluebird time and time again, I will. Costner's finest. Don't come at me. So, first out the boot, No More Heroes. It's available on the PC, the PS5, the Xbox Series X, the PS4, and the Xbox One. October 11th. Travis Touchdown is back, baby. The Otaku assassin takes up his trusty beam katana once more to slash his way to the top of the galactic superhero rankings and save the world in the latest entry in the No More Heroes series. Interesting.
Yeah. PGA Tour 2K23 Deluxe Edition, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox, everything. October 14th, take your game from the hardwood to the fairway and play like Mike in PGA Tour 2K23 on October the 14th.
Who's Mike?
No idea.
Okay. Was that not your mummy? I thought it might be.
No, actually, yeah, that is my mummy PGA Tour. I've sort of fell away from the golf game, so I think that one could lure me back in, I think.
Like a jam sandwich on a piece of string.
Exactly.
Last time that occurred, you didn't sit down for a week. Time Out was on the PC October 12th. Strategy, Witches, and Time Travel. There's an eclectic mix. Featuring both a single player and a co-op campaign and designed by a small indie team of 3 people. Size does not indicate greatness.
Yeah.
Greatness indicates greatness. Time Melters is a strategy action adventure featuring a unique game mechanic which allows the players to go back in time and fight alongside themselves. Sounds cool. It's like Braid with punches. I like it. Okay.
Braid with punches.
What's up next, friend?
War Pips, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Switch, October 12th. War Pips is the ultimate quick-to-learn but amazingly deep tug-of-war strategy game. Deploy the right composition of soldiers, tanks, helicopters, and planes in this tight, streamlined, strategy-focused war game. Compose the best army, research the right tech, overwhelm your enemy.
Interesting. Next, Case of the Golden Idol on PC, October 13th. If you like point and clicks, this isn't that, but it's similar. A new kind of detective game that allows you to think and investigate freely, discover clues surrounding 12 strange and gruesome deaths, and build your own theory. Pick your suspect, deduce the motive, unmask the awful truth.
Darkest Tales, PC, Xbox, Switch, October 13th. When a nightmare creeps into reality, the only ones that can help are those whose magical powers we've believed in since childhood. A brave teddy bear heads into the far side of the happily ever after to rescue his owner, Alicia. Sounds different.
Stingray brings us only the very best titles for the week. The Eternal Cylinder, PS5 and Xbox Series X, October 13th. Unforgettable alien world to explore. A vast open world that contains 4 unique biomes, each filled with extraordinary flora and strange fauna. Sounds like a walk through Farmerton Manor's garden. What wonders of horrors lie ahead will surely be unforgettable.
And we've got Fueled Up, PC, PS4, Xbox, October the 13th. Fueled Up is a chaotic couch co-op spaceship recovery game for up to 4 players. You and your crewmates must fuel, fix, and rescue damaged spaceships before the evil space octopus gets its tentacles on them.
I'm going out on a limb. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, the penultimate game will be My Mummy. This is my sort of... If I hadn't seen the other stuff in the boot, this is what I'll be asking Mummy for. It's a quiet week, but, we've got to get something. What's next?
Right, we've got Goal, the Club Manager PC, October 13th. You are more than a coach. You are the undisputed club boss. Are you ready to dominate the league with your team in this reimagining of the classic sports management franchise? Could you be the next manager sensation? Prove it.
Love that. Throw down. Slap you with the glove and throw it down. This game, if I pronounce it wrong, message in the Discord. Lost Eidolons.
Ooh.
Whatever that is. It's on PC. It's October 13th. Lost Eidolons. It's a turn-based tactical RPG with a gripping cinematic narrative set in a waning empire riven by civil war. Take on the role of a charming mercenary captain, Eden, and lead his band of allies through epic encounters on a classic turn-based battlefield. That actually does scratch my chin.
Yeah. We've got Triangle Strategy PC, October 13th. A new tactics RPG from the team who brought you the Bravely series and Octopath Traveler. An epic tale brought to life with stunning HD 2D graphics. Make difficult decisions in this story set against the backdrop of war-torn continent of Norzella.
Here's my mummy.
Good. I like that style of graphics. Good, Dale. Good.
Are you into that?
I'm not, but it's drawing me. You could say JRPGs aren't normally my thing, but I could be tempted with those because I just love the style, that sort of retro HD style. Yeah, good.
The man has spoken. This is my mummy. I'm going all in on this. Scorn comes out on PC and Xbox Series X October 14th. Scorn is an atmospheric first-person horror adventure game set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry.
Different. Trifox PC, Xbox Switch, October 14th. Trifox is a colourful and cartoonish action adventure featuring a phenomenal fox with a multitude of talents. Choose from a trio of classes: warrior, mage, engineer, or mix and match abilities to create a tailor-made hero inspired by the golden age of 3D platformers.
What can I say about that? That actually sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
There's a lot of Fox-based games coming out at the minute, though. You've got Tunic, is it? Trifox, all beginning with a T. One of these is the Dante's Peak to the Volcano one with Pierce Brosnan, whichever way it is. They came out at the same time. They're about volcanoes, whatever it is. Trifox and Tunic, they reek. But I don't know which one's Dante's Peak and which one isn't. So if you've played these, either both, you get in touch with the show. Get in the Discord.
Yeah.
Let's discuss Fox-based Zelda clones. Do it now. Do it now. Before he leaves, he's looking at me as if to say, I've been waiting 7 months for this, and this is all you delivered. I mean, it's good to hear your voice again, but I expected better. Where was my console retrospective? You swine. I thought you'd be wheeling out your best work. Well, much like Tom, as I say, I've been folded up every which way but Sunday and supported RGT's caffeine addiction, seemingly. Literally supported it. Sites I've seen, equally so things I can't unsee. When you're a piece of furniture, people kind of forget you're there. And,
they're in there forever.
Yeah. I supported you at a time where I probably shouldn't have supported you. Really, You know me well now, put it that way. I never expected that sack landing exactly there at that moment. When you come in tired after a day's work and you throw your lunch sack down, I didn't expect to support that. I don't know what you were thinking, but it was certainly...
It was definitely the lunch sack.
Yeah. Well, there was that time when I fell asleep through exhaustion, and then I don't want to say what I woke up to, but...
Anyway.
Stingray's like, no, I'm interested. What happened? We'll tell you after. All right?
Yeah.
It's a PG.
Strictly off air.
It's yeah. Or for the Discord. You want to know? Get in there. I'll tell you everything. So, before he loses his temper and his patience, what's left of it, you need to pick a movie out the boot. What are you going to take home today?
I think I'm going to go down the 80s route, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Pretty in Pink.
Okay. Who's in that? What's the story with this?
That's why I need to rewatch it again. I used to, my sister used to watch it years ago when I was younger, and I thought, I wouldn't mind seeing that again. Get an 80s collection up, Pretty in Pink.
Okay, you've gone for that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going for Space Jam.
Oh, good
4K, sent to me by a beloved listener, Elliot, now known as Lincolnshire Ellie, or whatever he's calling himself today.
Legend.
That's coming. And I think, I've been enjoying watching that. Looks great. Well, actually, it came from the Ray. It's coming out the boot. What am I doing? Fourth wall, smashed down. I've driven a bulldozer through it. Rewind, reverse. Yeah. He gave it to Stingray, okay? And Stingray's lent it to me.
Exactly.
That's how this works.
That's how the law works.
That's what I like about you. You catch on. You hoover up facts like a Dyson. Jammed on full power mode.
Yeah, always remember the law.
9,000 watts of pure suckage. Maybe I could stick a ring on that. I don't know. Right.
On that note.
Stingray's gone. I look around. I make that slightly on-edge joke and he disappears. Much like my podcasting career. It's up in smoke. Gone.
The mullet has disappeared.
Literally just poof.
Yeah.
Gone.
It was just a Lambert and Butler stub dropped to the floor. He's gone.
Half smoked.
Yeah. Just poof.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's how that magic works. We got what we wanted out the back of it.
Yep.
To the newcomers, if you've stayed this far, right? Unbelievable endurance. You should be running ultra Ironmans or something like that.
Well played.
This is considered good training for the pain threshold you need to be able to exceed to complete an Ironman triathlon.
Definitely.
Okay, so this is a mere bagatelle for you. Those that have stuck around and endurance slowly expanded their pain endurance level to the highest possible level know that when the ray goes, there's only really one thing left on the table. And that's, what are you hoping to play?
Well, I think I'm gonna try and get onto Forza Motorsport more. Try and get that finished this week, as I do have a week off work, which is good. So,
the best people get a week off this week. I haven't got one, hence I'm not the best people, but you have, and therefore you do.
Yeah, so I'm going to play that. Try and get that finished this week. Some more FIFA, I think, and also with the PS Plus games this month, we got the Hot Wheels game.
We did.
Yeah, so I might have a little old dabble in that. But yeah, that's probably what.
What about that? What do you think? What do you think about this new Need for Speed game with all the cartoon scribblings on it? Because before you rip in, I'm going to say I'm not that partial to Need for Speed normally. I can take it or leave it. Not really played the game since Need for Speed Underground 2. And to be honest with you, that was a throat chop across the Need for Speed franchise because I was forced to play that to 100% completion in the hope that we could get another GameCube game, me and my friend, because he made a promise to me that if we did that, we could play another game. And then we just didn't. Ooh. And that was like the death. Now, I've been around. I've seen Need for Speed this. I've seen Need for Speed that. I've seen Need for Speed the other. I've seen the edgy, I'm a racer, Fast and Furious 5, a little bit vindictive, a little bit edgy. Then it's kind of followed back then it was all about slamming lights, neons, tunes, max power, pink or brown, all that sort of question.
Fast and Furious vibe, wasn't it? That's what it was.
Yeah, I'm thinking more sort of max power. I don't think it's quite got the high brownness of Fast and the Furious, but maybe a thrashed down Bogner Seafront in a Mark II Fiesta XR2 with a cherry bomb exhaust modification and probably not much else.
I've played most of the newer ones, I must admit, and they're mixed bag.
But do the squiggles and the cell shading put you off, or do they make you go, "Oh yes, mummy, I need that"?
Puts me off, if I'm honest.
Because I actually thought, wow, this looks really cool. It's like Amped 3 meets Need for Speed. I'm not overly bothered in this game because I know it's not a realistic racer, but the art style has piqued my interest.
I mean, I quite like the Need for Speed 2015 one where they used the real actors in the cutscenes, and they'd be standing next to your car while they were acting, your actual car you'd customise. And I quite like that. That was quite a good game, but so far I'm not sold on it. It's not. You don't want
to do a power drift and see a load of like neon X's and circles and Y's go across the screen. Then that's not for you.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I might get it further down the line and enjoy it, and might like that. But at the moment, that's not selling it to me at the moment.
Okay,
unfortunately,
that was a strange transgression, only based on the fact that I think Need for Speed Heat was also in the pile. Maybe it was last month. I don't even know anymore. I've stopped counting. What else are you hoping to play?
Just pretty much those. I think I'm definitely going to give that Hot Wheels a go. I do quite like to look at that. And I know a few people in Discord have been playing it and quite enjoying it. So yeah, I'm hoping to get on there. I don't know does it have multiplayer? Do you know, online multiplayer?
I do believe it does.
Be good to get a few people on the Discord and have a few races on there. It'd be good fun.
What I want from a Hot Wheels game is basically you build a track, you put your car at the top, and you lift the flag, and it goes down the loop, and whoever comes out at the end is the winner. All this driving it shenanigans. So it's not Hot Wheels. Don't come in here waving Hot Wheels at me when I'm expected to turn the wheels left and right, because everyone knows Hot Wheels, they don't go left or right. They just go forward or loop-a-da-loop-a-da.
Loop-a-da-loop-a-da?
Yeah. That's Farmerton for loop-the-loop.
Yeah, but I'm going to give that a go. But so I must say, what are you hoping to play, George?
Do you know, of all the co-hosts I've ever had, no one's ever asked me before. Tell a lie, Bobby used to be partially interested sometimes in what I was hoping to play.
I didn't say I was interested, I was just asking.
That's how this relationship's going to go going forward, is it? I love it. Can't wait. You and Bobby in a tag team like the disasters in the WWE's prime, literally just destroying me like a piece of lint. Okay, what am I hoping to play? Finish my playthrough of Last of Us 2. A little bit of a sniff and a whiff of maybe Sleeping Dogs. I did playing it on original PS3 hardware as well. May I say, sir? May I say to you, that is still a fantastic looking game for an open world game of that era. Absolutely scintillating. It looks great at night, especially with the neons. Oh, cool. But then add in rain. Everything gets wet. Really? Everything gets shiny. Everything gets a little bit sexier.
Oh, cool. Well, I've got that on PS3. I might have to give that a look.
I think you should. There's a PS4 remake of it. I think it got a current gen remake. Probably a game that deserves it, because there's times on the PS3 where I'm like, this is struggling big time. There's times where you think, this is fine, and then only in gameplay, nothing too major, but it's definitely you do experience it. So yeah, it could be slicker. Then maybe gonna have a little sniff at God of War. I've been threatening to play Detroit Become Human for far too long now. It's downloaded on the console. Will I get to it? I don't know. Maybe.
I love that game. Good game, mate.
I'm looking forward to digging into that. Going from Last of Us 1 straight into Last of Us 2, I'm a little bit sort of like, I tell you one thing about the combat in that. It's so visceral and nasty. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's not a game that I think that it's fun to play, but it's probably not enjoyable to play. You're not just dispatching people willy-nilly and not thinking about it. Quite a lot of the time, the way I play, I'm like viscerally sinking this shiv in their throat, and it's like, oh God, what next? And they're gurgling on the blood, and it's like, God, I feel awful. And obviously, some of the decisions you make in that game, they're not the sort of decisions you make on a day-to-day basis. Quite savage, one would say. So that's also like, crikey, I think
Detroit Become Human would be a good palate cleanser for you. Have a little break from Last of Us. Go on Detroit. Good game. You'd enjoy that.
It's not fitting with my timeline. I'm back on the show. I'm mega serious now. I've got to get my head back in the game. I've got to get all these games finished in the next sort of 10 days. It needs to happen.
Mm.
and fast. And I can't remember how long God of War is now, but it's not an afternoon's. It's not an Uncharted 1. That's a fact. It might take you at least 5 play sessions of 24-hour days to see. Yeah, it's probably a 40, 60-hour game, something along those lines. So that's going to take some punching through. But I need to do that because I want to arrive at God of War 2, having been palate cleansed, ready to rock and roll, while still fresh with story.
Exactly.
So we'll see how that pans out. Other than that, I think that's about me. There might be a sniff of MLB. Don't know what else there might be a sniff of. Glue. No. You can't say that. That's not acceptable. Don't try that at home.
Can't edit.
We'll leave it in. The executive producer's now co-host and he's lost all track of reality, so that'll get left in.
Yeah.
Update. Nancy, the intern, now runs her own successful gaming podcast, probably the greatest podcast on planet Earth. Does like 4,000 times the numbers we do. If only we'd listen to her. Yeah. James, the work experience boy, he's now an intern at IGN. You know, it's where all the legends start here.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets that.
And then leave us behind.
Tom's now a god of the Amazon.
Yeah.
Bobby's opening a restaurant in Queens.
Yeah.
Your co-host, executive producer / down a back alley because your bladder's full. And that's really where we're probably going to park that. So thank you for joining us. Hopefully next week we'll have the trifecta, and then going forward from there, it's going to be a combination of me, you, Bobby, Bobby, you, me, Bobby, Bobby. No. How does this work out? I don't know. Someone cleverer than me will post it up in the Discord. This is where the Discord is a Eastern European.
All variations of the trifecta.
Go on the Discord. You'll find yourself here. Series 4 was always going to be a bit like this.
Yeah.
It was always going to be a bit off the hinge. If you've managed to get to this point, you've done well. You deserve all the praise. Definitely. And I would say that's all we have time for this week. Listeners, always thank you for your time. I look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again. Until then, happy game. Remember, there's nothing wrong. There isn't anything wrong with being given the unofficial controller. It's what you do with it that counts. See you, RGT.
See you, George.